This person literally is not allowed to text you or have a conversation with you because of forces beyond their control. Archangel Michael has stepped in to reveal this truth. Someone who thinks about you constantly cannot reach out to you. They are blocked from making contact. The restriction placed on them is real and serious. If they break it, there will be consequences they cannot face right now. But their need to communicate with you has become so strong that they are finding other ways. They are taking risks you cannot imagine just to get their message to you. This is not an accident. There's a reason you are hearing this now. You have been on this person's mind every single day. They wake up thinking of you. They go to sleep wishing they could talk to you. The barriers keeping them from reaching out are not simple. These are real restrictions that control their ability to contact you. They cannot send a text. They cannot make a call. They cannot show up where you are. Have you felt like someone has been trying to reach you lately? Strange feelings that someone is thinking about you. Dreams where someone is trying to tell you something but you cannot hear the words clearly. These feelings are real. This person's energy has been searching for a way to connect with you despite the walls between you. Archangel Michael sees their struggle. He has chosen to create a spiritual path around the restrictions, a way for their message to reach you when normal communication has been cut off. Time is running out for this connection to be made. The situation that keeps them silent will not last forever. But what happens when it ends depends on what you know before that moment comes. If their message does not reach you soon, you will face their return unprepared. You will not understand what really happened. The truth will remain buried under lies and misunderstandings. This person carries guilt that grows heavier each day. The silence between you is destroying them slowly. They fear what you believe about them. They fear what others have told you in their absence. Forces beyond them created this separation. Family members who want to keep you apart. Legal systems that demand distance. Circumstances that make contact impossible right now. But Archangel Michael can break through where human barriers exist. His divine power creates a bridge that no earthly restriction can block. He works now to make sure their truth reaches you before it is too late. Like this video now to break through the spiritual blockages keeping you apart. Archangel Michael says there are people in this person's life who have forbidden them from contacting you. Family members who believe the separation is necessary. Friends who think staying away is best. Or perhaps legal authorities who have made it a rule that must be followed. This restriction has been in place for months now. Every day they have fought the urge to reach out anyway. Every night they have stayed at their phone wanting to type your name. The emotional weight of this silence has been crushing. They replay conversations with you in their mind. They imagine what they would say if they could speak freely. They practice words they may never get to deliver. There have been moments when they almost broke the rules. Times when their finger hovered over your contact information. Seconds when they nearly risked everything just to hear your voice one more time. The message they carry is important enough to risk those consequences. It is truth that cannot stay buried. Information you deserve to have before you make decisions about your future. Your life has questions that only they can answer. Situations that never made sense because you did not have their side of the story. Confusion that has lived in your mind because they disappeared without explanation. This person exists in an impossible position, wanting desperately to speak but held back by forces they cannot fight. The restriction is temporary, but time moves differently when you are waiting to fix something that broke. When the restriction finally lifts, everything will change between you. But what that change looks like depends on what you know before that moment arrives. Type Amen right now to strengthen the spiritual bypass that allows their message through. Archangel Michael says this person has been trying to send you signs despite the restrictions they face. They have found creative ways to let you know they are still thinking of you. Have you noticed someone mentioning their name in random conversations? Friends bringing them up without any reason? These are not coincidences. Their energy is working through others to reach you. Your dreams have changed recently. You see places you used to go together. You hear their voice saying things you cannot quite remember when you wake up. These are their attempts to communicate through the spiritual realm when physical communication is blocked. Traditional methods are being watched. Their phone may be monitored by those who enforce the separation. Their messages might be checked. Their location could be tracked to make sure they stay away from you. The desperation grows in them daily. They need you to know they are sorry for how things ended. They need to explain what really happened that caused this distance. They need to warn you about false information you may have received from others. Every method of reaching you has been cut off. Social media blocked or watched. Mutual friends told not to pass messages. Physical locations where you might meet now avoided or forbidden. But Archangel Michael sees a path through these barriers. He creates a spiritual channel that no human restriction can monitor or block. Divine energy moves where earthly rules cannot stop it. This person risks even attempting spiritual contact. If those who enforce the separation knew they were trying any form of communication, the consequences would be severe. But their need to reach you has become stronger than their fear of punishment. The window for this spiritual communication will not stay open long. The energy required to maintain it drains them. This moment may be their only chance to get truth to you before the restrictions end and you face each other again. If you wish to amplify the spiritual signal breaking through these barriers, you can give super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more. Each offering strengthens the divine energy that helps their blocked message reach you. Your support honors the sacred work of bypassing earthly restrictions through spiritual means. Type 777 now to fully open the restricted spiritual channel that allows their voice to reach you. Archangel Michael reveals the reason for this restriction now. Forces in their life decided that contact with you needed to stop. It may be family intervention believing distance would help them heal. It could be a recovery program requiring separation from past connections. Perhaps legal situations that demand no contact for a period of time. The restriction was placed partly for their protection. Those who care about them feared that staying in contact with you would prevent their growth or healing. They believed the connection between you was unhealthy in some way. But this person knows the truth is more complicated. The situation that led to separation was built on misunderstandings. Events were twisted by others who had their own reasons for wanting you apart. Their version of what happened is different from what you were told. Critical details were left out when others explained why they had to go away. Important context was missing from the story you received. They wish they could explain how things really unfolded, how their actions were misread, how their words were taken wrong, how circumstances beyond their control created chaos that got blamed on them alone. The regret they carry is heavy, not just for what happened, but for the silence that followed, for being unable to defend themselves, for watching you believe a version of events that is not complete. The restriction will lift eventually. Weeks or months from now, the barriers will come down. They will be free to contact you again. The question is whether you will be ready to hear them, whether you will still care, whether too much damage has been done by the silence. Before that moment comes, you need to know what really happened, the truth that has been kept from you during this forced separation. Type 333 now to receive the divine clarity Archangel Michael brings through this spiritual channel. Archangel Michael says the message they need to share is an apology mixed with truth. They are sorry for the pain their sudden absence caused you. They know how it felt to have them disappear without proper explanation. But they also need you to know they did not choose this silence. The decision to cut off contact was not entirely theirs. Forces around them pushed for this separation. People who thought they knew what was best. The timing is urgent now because things are changing. The restrictions that kept them away are beginning to loosen. Soon they will be allowed back into the world you both exist in. The question is, what happens when that moment arrives? If you do not receive this message before the restrictions end, you will face them with only half the story. You will carry anger or hurt based on incomplete information. The reunion could go badly because you were not prepared with truth. There are others involved who do not want this communication to happen, even spiritually. People who believe the separation should remain permanent. They have told you things about this person that painted them in the worst possible light. You played a role in the original situation too, though you may not realize it. Not a role that makes you responsible, but a role that means you deserve to understand the full picture. The information you received after they left was filtered through people with their own perspectives and biases. Some of what you believe about why they had to go is simply not accurate. This person has changed during the separation. Time away has given them clarity they did not have before. They see things about themselves and the situation differently now. Their biggest fear is that when they can finally speak to you directly, you will not listen. That your mind will already be made up based on the story you have been told. If you wish to honor the sacred message breaking through barriers to reach you, you can give super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more. Each offering strengthens the bridge between your separated worlds and helps their voice travel through restrictions that were meant to silence them forever. Your support brings truth to light. Type 999 right now to strengthen the divine intervention that brings their blocked message through. Archangel Michael announces that the spiritual message is breaking through the final barriers now. The restrictions that kept them silent in the physical world cannot stop truth in the spiritual realm. This person feels relief knowing their words are finally reaching you. The weight they have carried begins to lift as the connection is made. They have waited so long for this moment. What they want you to know most urgently is that they never stopped caring about you. The separation was forced, not chosen. Their feelings did not change just because they had to stay away. When the restrictions end and they can reach out normally again, they hope you will be willing to talk. Not to restart what was, but to find closure or understanding about what happened. Their current emotional state is a mix of hope and fear. Hope that this spiritual message reaches you before it is too late. Fear that even receiving it will not change how you feel about them. The change in their life during this restricted period has been significant. They have worked on themselves. They have faced truths about their past behavior. They have grown in ways that distance made possible. They are preparing for the day when they can finally contact you directly, choosing words carefully, planning how to approach you, wondering if you will even respond when their name appears on your phone again. The restriction ending feels both exciting and terrifying to them. They want the chance to speak their truth, but fear it may be too late to matter. Type Amen right now to complete the spiritual bypass and receive the full blocked message that has been fighting to reach you. Archangel Michael says the blocked message has successfully reached you through spiritual means. The barriers that kept them silent in the physical world have been overcome in the realm of divine energy. The truth has crossed from their isolated world to yours. What was hidden behind restrictions has now been revealed to your spirit. This person feels emotional release knowing you have finally received what they needed to share. The burden of enforced silence lifts from their shoulders. They can breathe easier knowing you now have their truth. What comes next depends on both of you. When the restrictions officially end, direct contact will be possible again. Whether that contact happens is a choice you both will make with clearer understanding now. Type Amen to seal this spiritual connection that broke through barriers meant to keep you apart.